Good news, people. The Fremantle Traffic Bridge project has provided a few extra square metres of cement to allow us to safely ride around a traffic light pole at the corner of Canning Highway and the Stirling Bridge. The risk of clipping the pole with your handlebars or having a head-on collision with someone coming the other way is much reduced. Whilst that's great, Main Roads really needs to look into how a safety hazard was created on this corner. How did inadequate clearance for cyclists make it through the design, build and test process? Where are the holes in the Swiss cheese? If this can happen once, it can certainly happen again. This isn't an issue for the Alliance team. This is an issue for Main Roads because it shows there's a problem somewhere in their standards, policies, procedures or training. If I was a Main Roads manager, I'd be getting my team together and going through the 5 whys process to determine the root cause. Personally, I hate going through the 5 whys process at work, but I grit my teeth and do it because it always yields results. Now obviously I don't know what happened, but the process at Main Roads might look something like this. First question, why was inadequate clearance put into the design? Answer, the path design was based on the traffic being pedestrian only with no cyclists, so pedestrian clearance standards were applied. Question number 2, why was it assumed that only pedestrian traffic would use this path? Well, the bridge project failed to communicate that this path has been designated as the official cycling detour until late 2026, and therefore hundreds of bicycle movements are expected per day along this path. Question number 3. Why did the project team fail to communicate with the design team that this is a major cycling route for the next 12 months? And the answer is, well, Main Roads needs to figure that out and continue asking these questions. Now, alternatively, the answer to question 2 might have been that the path design team used the correct path width initially, but were not advised by the traffic signal designers that a traffic light pole was going to be installed in this location. So the next drill down question becomes, well, why did the traffic signal designers and the path designers fail to coordinate installation details and clearances? And a similar process could also be applied to the road safety audit that was conducted on the 27th of January. So we start with the first question. Why did the road safety auditor fail to detect an inadequate clearance? And the answer might be the auditor was tasked with checking that the as-built islands, curbs and paths matched the designs and was not tasked with checking if a hazard existed. The auditor measured the clearance and confirmed that it matched the designs, but did not consider if the clearance was adequate for a shared path used by cyclists. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened, only that this is the kind of answer that this process might uncover. Alternatively, the answer might be that the safety auditor walked through this section of path and failed to perceive a collision hazard for cyclists. So you then drill down into this. The next why would then be, well, why did the safety auditor fail to perceive a collision hazard for cyclists? Answer, because they were moving slowly and on foot and not at 20 kilometres an hour on a bicycle. So you drill down again. Well, why did the auditor not run through all the tests or cycle through all the tests cases with a bicycle after they had tested on foot? And you might have a plethora of answers here. It could be because Main Road standards and policies do not mandate running the test again with a bicycle, or because bicycles are not made available to road safety auditors as part of their standard audit and test equipment. Because road safety auditors have not been trained in how to conduct a safety audit using a bicycle and shown the cycling specific hazards that they need to look for. Could be because the auditor was banned from using a bicycle on this project for OH&S reasons. Or because the active transport section of the Department of Transport was not engaged to assist with cycling aspects of the safety audit. Well, in other words, you can't expect the safety auditor to assess cycling safety if they're not supplied with the policies, templates, standards, training and tools that they need to do the job. And this is why I believe Main Roads needs to delve into what happened here instead of the Alliance project. These are problems that someone in head office needs to solve. Main Roads can't rely on external parties such as myself, Freo Bug, West Cycle or the local MP riding around on a bicycle to plug the weaknesses in their controls. And that's it. Thanks for watching.